Jason Hugh, let's talk it over here on 994 RO, the Talk of Central Queensland. This is the Boodles' Big Breakfast, and it's a Wednesday, and it's about that time of the week where we catch up with member for Morenni, Glen Kelly. G'day, mate. How are you?
Crossy, how are you, mate?
Mate, I'm well. I'm nice and dry, which is better than some people, I got to say. And as somebody who, you know, the Morenni is a big electorate and you get around, you've probably seen a lot of the stuff that's going on after the cyclone.
Yeah, I drove up the Bruce yesterday, and obviously the Bruce hasn't handled it too well this weather. There's some sections of, like, I see Marlborough got cut off again last night on the Bruce Highway and up the Marlborough-Serena, old Marlborough Highway there. I see around Bejewel there was water over the road there last night as well. But there's some pretty large potholes on that Bruce at the moment. One of the sections is where our funding's going into to be fixed straight up on that Bruce Highway, but it hasn't coped too well at all with the size of the potholes in it, and there was a fair bit of activity going on there. But no, we've seen some water in the electorate of Morenni over the last several days. Obviously, the cyclone crossed the coast it was just north of Bowen there, but obviously being a slow-moving rain depression now, she's dumped some water in these areas and up to 500 mil or better, top end of the Pioneer Valley and Yungala, and down my end of the patch, obviously in Morenni, I know there's been some massive falls up to 300 mil. Where I live, we had, I think it was, we had 6 inches of rain, which was really, really great. But I mean, there's been some massive falls, and the roads have deteriorated. And as they say, if it's flooded, forget it. You know, if you are going to go somewhere, just let someone know you're on that road, because it was pretty dodgy there yesterday in some places, because a lot of the gullies and creeks along the highway there were running bankers, and I mean it only took 10 to 15 mil and they were over the road again. So keep an eye on if you're driving about, mate. Yeah,
and I always say that even if you feel confident and you maybe have a 4-wheel drive and all that kind of stuff, you don't know what's under that water. You don't. You know, everyone that's gotten stuck has probably been confident that they'll be fine. So that can be, you know, a detriment, really.
Oh, definitely. I mean, like up at Yungala here, like there was 40 landslips on that road up the Yungala range there on Sunday where they had over 500 mil. And fortunately, a big shout out to TMR up here. They've worked pretty quickly to get that road open in one lane, so which is really good for the locals especially. But and a big shout out to Ergon and those guys and the SES for what they've done over these last 3 or 4 days. They've worked blooming tirelessly and working 24 hours a day to make sure that the locals are safe and make sure that the power's on to the homes, and try and do the best they can while this event's around.
I got to say, just speaking of Ergon, there's actually not been a lot of. I got a family member that works there, and there's not been a lot of like power outages. There's certainly been some, but nowhere near as many as I thought there would have been during an event like this.
Yeah. Well, look, Luke, it was. I know there yesterday morning there was 3,000 or 4,000 homes without power down the southern end of the electorate. Up here, we got to just over 20,000 homes without power there on Sunday afternoon, Sunday night, Monday, but I think they've done a fantastic job. They've moved pretty quick because obviously dangerous conditions, boggy conditions, but they've had a pretty good grip on this one. And as I say, big shout out to them because they've done the best they can.
Yeah, indeed. A couple of other things I want to mention today, which kind of goes a little bit hand in hand, because Cap Rescue, you visited them and they do amazing work.
Oh, look, we visited them yesterday morning before we headed north, and big shout out to Cap Rescue. They're celebrating 30 years this month of being around. So, I mean, that's a long time. And, you know, they've been a hell of a service to our communities, and they've been vital in and around Rockhampton and central Queensland with what they do and how they do it and the conditions they have to fly in as well. And, no, it was really good to get in there and have a talk to those guys, and a big shout out to Darren Harry. He's the CEO there now, and I think he's doing an amazing job, and he's looking into the future with what he wants to do, and he's I'll take my hat off to him. He's a goer, and that's what you need in those sort of places. And I think there last year, off memory, there was over 630 tasks And that's a lot of fly time. And so, I mean, these guys, they're so important to our region and so important to the people that live in it. And I'm damn sure they'll be around for a long time to come. And obviously through the state government and those sort of things, we support them highly. And well done to them, and well done to looking forward to where we're going.
And finally, when I touch on the Capricorn battery energy storage systems, the proposed call-in notice.
That's right. So the Deputy Premier issued a proposed call-in notice on the Capricorn BESS last Wednesday of last week. Now, there was two projects. There was Capricorn BESS, and then there was the Plaistow BESS near Mackay. Weren't captured by the new regulations changes of last month around BESS projects. They'd already lodged appeals into the Land and Environment Court just a few days before the changes come along on the 12th of December last year. So they obviously, you'd nearly think they smell a rat, these fellows. But anyhow, so this allows these communities now to have their say on what they think about these projects going in and around their communities. Obviously, I could keep harping, it's where people do live and it's where the potential where they can live, and obviously high agricultural land as to what it is. And these developers, they just keep trying. I've got to give them their due. They're persistent, but look. So we've got, I think it's 20 working days now. So the due cut-off date for submissions is the 5th of February, and obviously they will then they all go through to the Deputy Premier, and he will look at this then and see what the communities are saying. And then the process will begin then on whether there is a call-in or not. But at least the people have been given the opportunity which they deserve. And I will say this, a big shout-out to Mackay Regional Council and definitely Rockhampton Regional Council with what they've done. I really admire them that they are thinking of these communities first, which is so important. So I think we're all on the same page here, mate.
Awesome. Glen Kelly, thanks for the chat today, mate. You take care of yourself. You got you off on the road getting around about the region, or is it an office day today?
No office day today. So we've got Minister Lay coming into Mackay probably right now, and I'm catching up with her. We're heading up the valley to look at the damages and the issues in and around the Pioneer Valley, and I'll be up here probably till Saturday. And yeah, I've got a lot going on here, mate. Things aren't too good at the moment.
Well, you take care of yourself, Glenn, and I will probably catch up with you next week.
Good on you, Crossy. Look after yourself.
Thank you for that. That is Glen Kelly, member for Moraine here on 994R Road.